Hello and welcome to part 1 of a 3-part tutorial series on how to use the VLIZ FAIR checker. This part will go over the general layout of the app and will go deeper in what data searcher is and how you can use it. When you first load in the app, your screen should look like this. On the left side of your screen you will have the sidebar menu containing the 3 main parts of the VLIZ FAIR checker, being the dataset searcher, the special collection tester, and the documentation for which you are in now. Underneath these 3 main parts, you will have the current sessions active. This can be an indicator on how many people are currently using the app right now. If this number is high, it can be an indicator that the app will go slowly. Finally, on the sidebar menu, you'll have a Close Current Session button. This will allow you to immediately close the session you're in now, and when you reload, you will not have that. On the top of the menu, you will have a button for which you can close the sidebar menu, and also a button to see your history with your current session. For instance, you see that I started the session at 9:58 today. So, going back to the dataset searcher, this segment will allow you to search for a specific special collection in EMIS and will let you do searches in it based on 5 crucial metadata fields. I will start this demonstration by choosing the special collection of Moneos. By doing so, the screen will be immediately reloaded. During this time, you will not be able to do any other actions. Now that the search is done, we can see immediately by the orange box that we have 72 records in the special collection. We also have a box here that displays the amount of records with NAs in the crucial metadata. For now, this displays NAN because we have not performed a search yet. Below these boxes, you will have an output map for which you can click and zoom in to find individual records that have longitude and latitude linked to them. When you click on these records, you will get a link that goes to EMIS itself, to the record. On the left side, you will have 5 filters here, one of which is date, which is open now. In date, you can choose and see the amount of datasets that are in a specific time range. You can adapt this range when you filter by clicking these boxes here and searching for another date. This will update the graph automatically. Secondly, we have access constraints. These will show you the access constraints that are in the special collection. For instance, from here we can see that there are about 17 restricted records in Moneos. Thirdly, we have longitude and latitude. This will allow you to choose your records based on geospatial data. If I change this slider, a blue box will appear on the map. This box indicates which records will be shown. Lastly, we have geoterms. Geoterms are also a way to filter on geospatial data, but since geoterms are not yet linked with longitude and latitude data, this cannot be filtered out yet on the map. For this, you select the box right here and choose a filter that you want. There can be multiple filters that can be chosen from here. And finally, we have teams. This will be shown in a sunburst plot. So, for instance, we have 58 datasets for which biology is in 2 of them for which plants are in and 5 plankton. So we can go here and search for plankton and benthos, and then we can perform a search by clicking on the filter data button. This will again reload all the graphs and also the boxes on top of here. Now we can see that there are 8 records that were returned by my search. 11 of those contain NAs in the metadata of teams. Here again we have a map which shows the records in your search, but down here in the table we will now have a table for which some EMIS links are colored black. This means that there is crucial metadata missing in one of these fields. These fields are colored yellow to be more indicative. So for instance, this record does not have an access constraint. So when we go to this record in EMIS and search for access constraint, we will indeed see that there are no access constraints to be found. If you want to have all the NAs that are in your special collection, you simply click the show only results that contain NAs and then filter data. Now you see that 34 out of the 72 records in Moneos have NAs and crucial metadata, which is about 47%, which is not good. Down here you will now see that there are only records with NAs in a crucial metadata field. Now I will clear the whole search by clicking the clear filter button. And this will return all 72 records of the special collection, and it will also show you that all records are indeed shown here. I will now filter on access constraint on the attribution CC BY. This will filter out 13 records for me, for which I will perform the URL tester on. Right here, I will perform the URL analysis, and it will immediately start by searching for URLs. This search will give you back the response code of the URL. This response code can be all these response codes can be found in the documentation itself, but a response code of 200 is the one that we want. All others can be considered as bad. Also, a side note, the table here is taken over from your search that you performed in the Data Explorer. So, for instance, this table has 13 records, and some of those records have no URL. These records will be displayed with a black box. Now that the search is complete, the red box has changed, and we can see immediately that there are 2 bad URLs that came out of this URL analysis. We can go down to the graph and see that there are indeed 2 URLs with a response code of 403. We can search for these in this table. And when you click on the URL itself with the bad status code, we will see that indeed the website is not available. This can be a tool to filter out bad URLs. And for the final NDA tester, I will need to search for another special collection. I will take Assemble Plus long-term environmental datasets, and will then perform the NDA data tester on it. I will click on the Get Header Data of Downloadable Data button, and it will immediately start searching for URLs that are DOIs and that have data in the MDA. Normally all these links should be open access, so when I click on the to metadata file of this specific document, I will be redirected to MDA, to the metadata overview of this file, where I can also download the data itself. This concludes part 1 of the VLIZ FAIR Checker tutorial.